I think you raise a fundamentally important question around how protected individuals are as a consequence of, in your case, the choices you made to get out of Facebook and WhatsApp, or basically Meta's product and platform surfaces that you peg helped protect your mom during the pandemic. I would be partial to that here in NZ. The issue is that in the global south, in the global majority, where the largest markets are for Meta and all Silicon Valley companies, the content on these platforms is simultaneously helpful and harmful at the same time, at the same moment. So life-saving content and stories and updates and information through official government channels or trusted news sources are on these platforms, as well as at any given moment, and particularly during electoral moments or say during the pandemic or offline unrest, there are also actors and networks and choreographies and scripts in ways that these companies have no handle on, that manipulate public opinion and shape perceptions, behaviors, responses, attitudes, and reactions in ways that are very, very harmful, both at that moment, leading to very often rioting and offline violence, but also, I keep saying, to the democratic fabric. So the issue is that it's simultaneously happening. So it's not an easy thing. In fact, it's actually quite darn impossible for me to get out of Facebook or WhatsApp or have my 78-year-old mom get out of it for a variety of reasons. It's a lifeline for her. She's connected to me and my sister. She's connected to news sources that are accurate. But she's also connected to a hell of a lot of misinformation and disinformation that I try to steer her away from and help her understand as well. But that is the context. And that's why every time the hashtag delete Facebook, or even this migration to Mastodon in New Zealand it's simply not there. Mastodon and all the alternatives that one can think of that were championed or arose after Musk's acquisition of Twitter do not exist in the global south, because these platforms, as awful as they are, and I would know more than most, are nevertheless, and that's the tragedy of it. I mean, that's the real thing, You have to live with these cancers eating away at our democracy, because they are inextricably entwined in our democracy as well. And from everything to love and sex and astrology and weddings and funerals, through to political mobilization, human rights advocacy, bearing witness about war crimes and crimes against humanity, all of that is happening at the same time. And that's kind of what I've also talked about in 2022 when Sri Lanka went through what it did. And a lot of the political activism and advocacy and pro-democracy movement was on these platforms. And I was studying disinformation on them as well, but it simply wouldn't have occurred without these platforms. So that's the challenge for somebody of my color, from where I come from, where I am somewhat envious of those decisions that you can make and have protected your mom and protected yourself and protected your whānau and protected society here. And that these are choices that you can make and can opt into or opt out of. There are simply not choices the rest of us can make. So our negotiation always is to how to balance out the hateful and the harmful with the helpful. So I just thought it's easier for me to send a video recording in response to your comment.